Two drunk assholes talking about whatever comes to mind. We present Filler with Jack Fike and Rob Harper. Filler is Jack and my insane rambling. In this episode of Filler, we talk TV shows once again, and somehow end up comparing Zack Snyder to Wes Anderson. Yeah. Anyways, please do note that we are extremely drunk during these recordings, so if we do sound like unintelligent fools, just forgive us.
Yeah, it made no sense that she just shows up.
Any actress or actor could have been paid far less money.
It was stunt casting, but stunt casting for, like...
Awesomeness.
Yeah, because you never expected her to be dead.
No. Now, I've long since dropped Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I haven't watched it in a long time.
It's really quite good.
And,
The last, I would tell you what happened the mid-season finale, but...
What happened in the mid-season finale?
Well, you don't know anything about the other world that they go to, right? There's a whole other planet.
Okay, see, now I don't know about that, so
Simmons got sucked into the black thing.
Yes.
She got sent to another planet. She was stuck there for 6 months and had to live. But she found a boyfriend there. He was an astronaut who got stuck there. That's Hydra sent over. Long story short, Fitz goes back because he didn't want Simmons to go back because Ward made him go back with him. So Ward and Simmons go to this other planet to try to get this evil thing that's the ancient leader of Hydra and bring it back through the portal. But then, what's his name? Coulson ends up over there too. Coulson kills Ward pretty much. I think Fitz technically killed Ward. So you're like, oh my god, Ward's dead. And then, the ancient evil invades Ward and possesses him. And then at the very end, you see Ward he's still in the show. Ward's dead, but this ancient evil is now in Ward's body. So he gets to play a totally different character.
So now he's another character.
Yeah. It was crazy.
I was hoping that he was going to be turned into the Taskmaster.
No, he was just an evil bastard.
I was hoping that he
played like a really insane person really well. Like his childhood was fucked up, and
he played the archetype, stereotypical superhero agent guy really well.
At the beginning,
that everyone was like, "Oh, boring." That you got lured into. Yeah. He played the psycho really well.
He was really good psycho.
And now he gets a chance to play an evil creature.
And there's twists and turns. S.H.I.E.L.D. is a great show.
Okay. Well,
It's really not attached to the Marvel movies much anymore. They really don't even address them anymore. They, sort of mention Age of Ultron, something happened in the other country.
Moldova.
Yeah. Nothing really. I assume Civil War would be a lot more major when that happens. So we'll see when that happens.
Well, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is your Gotham.
I guess so, yeah.
It's on. If you had the chance, maybe you would if there was not in another universe where that was the only superhero or sci-fi, you would cling to it, but it's not.
Yeah,
and you can't
Same
watch
with Supergirl.
everything.
I would watch Supergirl if there was less on.
Yeah,
but yeah, there's just too much here. That's our theme forever.
Yeah, for now, it can't last.
And then it can last because more. Who knew that something like Expanse would coming out, or who knew,
Well, we haven't.
Ash vs. Evil Dead.
We haven't seen peak superhero yet.
Like we're saying, Wild Cards. Wild Cards might be really good. J.R.R. Martin. No, what's his
J.J. Abrams Martin.
What the fuck's his name?
George R.
Martin. I would say J.R.R. Tolkien and George R. Martin and J.J.
Abrams.
J.J. Walker all at the same time. But yeah. So Wild Cards could be that might be the peak superhero TV show because it's going to be the postmodern take on a realistic take on superheroes. So Heroes tried to be a realistic take on superheroes. I don't think it stole a lot from all these other things. Janet loves Heroes, but
for favorite five, I was told that I had to watch Heroes, and I've watched quite a bit of the first season. I was not at the time and place when it was.
That's the thing. At the time, there was no superheroes on TV.
I'm sure it was a breath of fresh air to trapped miners. I'm sure it was like a drop of dew off a leaf for
you'd never seen anything like that on TV, especially on network TV. You'd never seen anything like that on network TV.
But
you get like the Mutant X TV show, or like the Generation X TV show, or like these really like cheesy kind of superhero shows. But that was the first one that took it seriously.
Yeah, and it was on a network, so it had a budget. Mm-hmm. It was
So Heroes, like a lot of things, you just missed out on the.
And it wasn't a superhero show right away.
Well, you saw superhero powers right in the first episode.
But that's not a superhero. That's
the show is called Heroes.
it felt to me, maybe it's just me now in hindsight, it felt X-Filey at first.
A little bit, yeah.
Why? Because she didn't understand. She fell on the log and she got impaled, but she didn't. Then at one point she gets autopsied.
And the horn rimmed glasses was much like the cigarette smoking man kind of thing.
Yeah, there was Enigma. You see him as a loving father, but then you know there's something going on.
I can see what you're saying. Yeah.
It felt X-Filey to me. It wasn't superhero capes.
By the end, it was though.
But
I guess you haven't gotten that far.
I won't get that far.
Giving up on it. I watched what's it called? I watched Grand Budapest Hotel. I've watched Last Unicorn.
You watched Last Unicorn, so that was how long? What, 60 minutes? 100?
No, it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
It's 120.
Okay, 120
plus
minutes.
Grand Budapest was probably like 3 hour long.
You did need to. You've chastised Wes Anderson's movies.
I don't I understand they're really well done. I just find them very pretentious.
And me aesthetically, for just me watching them, I could just watch him film anything.
Yeah, but I find that super pretentious. I don't like the
every object.
It's so obviously done. That's my problem. I must not like the
when you're
aesthetic.
The first person to do it and really hone in on a look. I think it's beautiful. The way everything is, like the screens are split in half.
Not my thing.
Symmetry.
It's Wes Anderson is to Suicide Girls.
Okay, I don't believe Wes Anderson's ever been compared to Suicide Girls before. But
Suicide Girls, my thing, not your thing. Wes Anderson, your thing, not my thing.
And I'm just saying that I enjoy.
It was a good movie, but it was just I had to get over that. Whereas you like that.
For me, it's an addition to the movie.
Yeah, see, for me, it's a detraction. It distracts me from the movie.
Harvey Keitel as a walk-on, like a non-star.
I didn't even recognize him at first. He looks so old.
Have you seen the Ridiculous Six, the Adam Sandler movie?
No, I refuse to watch anything with Adam Sandler attached to it.
Okay, I did. Anyways,
Harvey Keitel in that too?
Yeah.
Wow.
But everything is so well done, and the Bill Murray, and you get.
Well, there's no saying that all these people want to be in this movie and acted really well in this movie. I just don't like the style.
Yeah, I agree. It's
subjective.
Your Wes Anderson is my Frank Miller
for the comic books, not so much for movies. I think we both agree that his movies aren't great, but for comic books, yeah. Well, even Frank Miller comic books, I'm not a big fan of.
But
I think it would be more.
I overstepped my bounds.
Yes,
apparently.
Yeah, I'm not a crazy fan of Frank Miller as a comic book artist. I would say it's more, maybe even Zack Snyder. You're not a crazy Zack Snyder guy. Like, I really like the look of Sucker Punch. And
I even enjoyed the story.
I think a lot of people thought that it was like, oh, he's trying to say something here or trying to take it too seriously. I'm like, not really. It was just a kind of a wrapping paper for this visual feast.
Yeah. Oh, he made that abundantly clear in the movie.
But people took it. Oh, he's trying to be so smart that it's all in her head, or it's like.
Yeah, but if they come out and say this is what it is,
yeah, it's not being smart.
It's not being smart.
It's just being the wrapping paper.
It's saying it's being honest. If at some point they revealed at the end,
it wasn't an M. Night Shyamalan twist. It was sort of, but not really.
The only twist being a crazy bus driver, but like. The only twist was...
But even that's all in her head, wasn't it? Yeah, it was all in her head, because she was every character. So it was all in her head, as she was getting lobotomized.
But was that true?
No, none of it was true. It was all in her head. It's all in her head. And that was her escaping from her reality by getting on the bus. She was the only good character left. Her innocence got away, even though the rest of her got destroyed.
Maybe it is a smart movie then, because that's not how I took it in an exact opposite direction.
There was no real characters; it was all her.
And see, I think that what you saw, because she wasn't mentally stable, what you saw might not.
You
have
think
been,
it was more of a veneer of reality, not just in her head. You think it was happening, just not the way she was saying it was happening.
Not the way she was seeing
Perceiving it. Yeah, I understand. There's a board game that's I think it's called The Others. No, that's another one, but Asylum, I think it's called, and that's exactly what it is. It's you think you're fighting in like a dungeon kind of thing, but you're actually trying to escape the asylum.
And I think she what was happening, but
I'd have to watch it again to see which. Yeah,
what you saw was her perception of it. So there was a lot of extra highlights and different things that she perceived. It basically happened that way, and then when she started dancing around and went into those alternate realities, is probably didn't have the real effect in the real world. That, well,
who knows what? Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
I liked it. Visually, it was a great movie. But anyways, it's all about style. A lot of people don't like that style, and I'm probably in the minority to say that I don't like Wes Anderson's style.
Zack Snyder, oh no, Wes Anderson.
A lot of people
is basically
don't like
panned.
He is. It's so obvious. Maybe I'm much more of a story guy than a style guy mostly. So and the story was good. So,
and I will admit that some of Wes Anderson's movies,
like The Royal Tenenbaums, has no story. There is no story.
That's in that movie. The purpose of that is to have no story. There's a lot of characters, and there's a lot of character development, and there's a lot of like Gwyneth Paltrow's character. I'm not even a big fan of hers, but it really doesn't have
a point,
a story.
Yeah,
which was the point that it didn't. And Moonrise Kingdom,
never saw any.
Never saw. Kids run away, and
I never saw
it's a marriage falling apart on one side, and it's.
I never saw the water one with Bill Murray.
Oh, Life Aquatic.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
Wes Anderson doesn't make the same movie. They're all the same, but they're all different. He'll make a comedy. He'll make a.
I found a
drama.
I found Grand Budapest pretty funny at times.
Yeah. Oh, when he gets his fingers cut off in the door. Oh.
Of all things, that's not funny.
What?
That's horrible.
Well, when you're sitting beside someone who's squeamish and doesn't expect that in a Wes Anderson film, and that was
maybe it was more that wasn't funny.
Maybe it was the reaction that I got here.
Yes, that could have been it. The environment.
Yeah, but Zack Snyder, I could take or leave most of the time.
Well, especially now, he's kind of or what's his name? The guy who does Kick-Ass and Kingsman. A lot of people don't like his style.
I saw Kick-Ass. I didn't see Kick-Ass 2 because
Kick-Ass 2 wasn't great, but
that's what I heard. Like
it was okay,
and I don't usually go by public opinion.
It was almost like Kick-Ass was so like popular. Hey, let's make a sequel.
And the first one was enjoyable, but
Matthew Vaughn, that's who did it. Who did? He also did X-Men First Class.
But it wasn't so enjoyable that when the second one came out, that I said I'm going to see that.
I'd watch it just for fun, but I wouldn't suggest it. But you've seen Kingsman, right?
No.
Secret Service? Great movie. That was a great movie.
I've heard that it's an ultraviolet James Bond with comedy.
It's almost more. I would say it's almost more of an ultraviolet Austin Powers. I think that's more the visual style is more Austin Powers than James Bond. Obviously, both of those are coming from James Bond, so that's what's talking. But it's fun. It's got a very English 60s kind of feel to it too, like almost Prisoner kind of feel to it at times, and those kind of things.
It wasn't marketed properly. It came and went, and I think
it was much bigger in England and places like it didn't hit here very much. Yeah.
I remember people on the internet saying, "Oh, it's great." And
it's on Netflix, so I suggest you watch it.
Because who's in it?
It's that kid who's in other things now, but it's also got.
On the picture, there's a white guy walking up front, and I'm like, I couldn't recognize him, but it's because it was.
It's the main bad guy is Mace Windu.
Yeah.
I can't remember anybody's names right now,
but it's someone famous, and I just didn't recognize them.
I can't remember. They're all English actors. What's his name? Yeah, I can look it up.
Well, this is fascinating conversation.
What's the name of this movie?
Well, I might...
Kingsman.
I might have to give that a shot.
Oh, I would suggest 100%. It's fun.
Okay, well...
And they are making a sequel.
Okay, so the long and short of it...
Colin Firth is the main guy, and then Samuel Jackson is the bad guy. And then Michael Caine's in it, and Mark Strong's another major character in it.
Long and short of it is,
And the main character is some young guy.
Didn't care for Heroes, probably because I didn't strike. I remember when it was on, and we were in high school at the time, I think, even.
What's that?
Heroes?
No, it was a little after that, but not by much.
But I went over to your house, and you're like, I'm watching the show Heroes, and it's really great, and you gotta get on there. And I'm like, I'm not doing the TV thing right now, or whatever it was. And you're like, oh, but it's superheroes. And I didn't watch a single show, and if there was a time for me to watch it, that was
You missed it, yeah, for sure. I bet now if it's there's too much else on.
And
compared to like the quality of things on now, that's not quality.
And Hayden Panettiere, I would do terrible and sanitary things to her. She's right in my wheelhouse. The guy who plays the hero and his
right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I do terrible unsanitary things to him.
Yeah, they're funny. The first seasons, after that, they get a little overused because they were so popular.
When because they go to the casino to count cards, and the guy get beat up, because they end up in like American suits, and they're like, why won't you stop time? Because Hero wouldn't stop time when he was getting beat up by the bouncers.
Yeah, he's just.
There was a lot of nice moments, and I liked the characters.
It's just, once again, it was a lot of storylines, and some of the storylines you're like, oh, this isn't good. And especially by the second season, where, like, I think it was the second season where the Sylar turned good, and it was just like, no, don't do that kind of thing. He is a psychopath. He should be a psychopath.
And Allie Larder, she's easy on the eyes.
But her storyline was terrible.
In the first season, it wasn't?
Maybe not. I get polluted by the whole thing.
No.
But it was the first season I thought was really good, but like I say, at the time, it's hard to say.
On the time, yeah, and apparently, Heroes Reborn has tanked.
I didn't even know it was out already.
It's already gone.
Is it?
But nowadays, I can Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday turn on at 8:00 a television.
Flash, Arrow.
We've got Supergirl, Gotham.
Do you watch Supergirl? Not really.
I did.
I know you watched a couple of them, but did you watch?
I watched the one that got leaked at first, and I was like, eh. So I didn't watch it for a few episodes, and then they said they were going to have Red Tornado on.
Did you watch that one? It's almost like how I watched Smallville. I'd watch it when this character's going to be on, so I watched that episode. So
then I thought, I better give it a fair shake. If I'm going to watch it for Red Tornado, even though I saw pictures of it and the costume looked ridiculous, I said, I got to give it a fair shake. So I watched up until that.
And then you saw the Martian Manhunter stuff.
Then I continued watching. I think I've seen every episode that's been out yet.
Maybe not in order.
That's only 5 episodes.
Is it that it? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And then Gotham, you're like hot and cold on.
Yeah. I cannot recommend it because you have to start at the beginning, because there's certain arcs that it subverts expectation. You don't know exactly, but there's some through arcs that are really good. But you have to sit through Jada Pinkett Smith, and it is unbearable. She
switched. I saw the first episode, and she turned me off.
It is unbearable. Oh my god!
I just like I say, there's just too much out there.
And even Baby Batman, that kid. I hate kid actors, except for a few times when they had to make him act like crying, or like when they really needed him most. Sometimes he just didn't hit the mark. Yeah. But for the most part, really good kid actor. So,
like I say, there's a lot of other things I'd rather watch.
Just watching Donald Logue.
Yeah, you like him a lot.
Just watching him is
See, I like Sean Pertwee. So.
And this is his son.
No, that's him. That's Sean Pertwee. Yeah. John Pertwee's fun.
Yeah, but he does a good job. I like him. He gets to slap children around.
He beats Bruce Wayne?
No, he beats Catgirl.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not right.
She murdered his best friend.
How did she murder his
Reggie?
What?
Hawked him out a window.
Who? She's evil?
Reggie did stab him, so...
Stab who?
Alfred.
And then Catgirl saved him?
No.
I don't even know. I don't want to know. This is so convoluted. I don't know where this conversation's going. Anyways, yeah. I just hate how in the first season, or first few episodes, it seemed they just introduce a new character every time. It's like, not every one of his villains was around before he was Batman.
And that's the thing. A lot of them aren't really that person.
Yeah, they like lie and say
They bring them on stage. They give you all the hints, and and you're like, I know who that is. That's so and so. That's so and so.
Yeah.
That's so and so. And all of a sudden, stab. Ugh, that wasn't him.
Yeah.
The Riddler's real, which I wish that.
Used to they ruined that character. But yeah.
But the guy who does the Penguin is fantastic.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. Yeah.
And now that the Penguin and the Riddler are chums, the Riddler's back in my good books. But they had Carol Kane on the show, and they killed her, and they killed the Riddler's girlfriend, and she was really good, and like right one after the other, and it was almost too much to bear.
Yeah.
I stopped watching for a while.
Yep. I watched The Strained. I watched the first season. That was alright. It was very vampire-y. And what else? Yeah. Can't wait for Dark Matter to come back.
Yeah, there's questions.
I don't know how they're gonna dig themselves out of that hole.
They better start toot sweet, because the last episode flipped everything on its head.
It was a great cliffhanger, that's for sure. Once again, 13 episodes. Like, you don't have to... I love short episodes, TV shows.
And for a first season, it had some rocky bits. I think they rushed a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I think we've discussed it before.
Yeah, we've discussed this before.
So, but I'm looking forward to seeing. I know the girl, what's her name? The young girl.
The hot, definitely legal young girl.
Yes. I've seen posts of her when she was like, "Okay, we're starting to film. Time to get the hair back," and
she did
some other stuff.
Dreads again.
And she's a good-looking girl.
I know, she's super hot.
She is a good-looking girl. Like in the show, they really they make
her look young in the show, yeah.
To make her look dorky and ugly but Jodelle something or other.
Oh, her name, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But
what about Legends of Tomorrow? Excited about that now that we've introduced all the characters with Hawk Girl and Hawk Man?
Oh yeah, I was interested in that from...
I'm not sure about Hawk Girl. She seems a bit... First of all, I love how he's Hawk Man and she's only Hawk Girl, not Hawk Woman. I think Cisco's a little sexist there.
I like that
he should be Hawk Boy.
he's a bit of a douche.
He's a bit of a douche, but he's kind of like, well, this is how it is.
Yeah, but he's a douche, and it's good that all the there's a niche for someone who's a bit of an asshole.
Yeah, you need somebody like that. Other than you do have two villains on the team.
But I mean, like, it just
I can't wait to see more of.
He could have shown up like knight in white in shining armor and just like, hey, I'm Hawkman, and let's do this. But he was just like, he hawks her off a building, and
and I can't wait for the Atom to come back.
Yeah,
we miss
Brendan Routh.
Yeah, we miss Brendan Routh.
Really good. White Canary.
Give or take her. Should be interesting dealing with what she dealt with.
Her acting, Katie Lotz' acting, has gone from what made me almost stop watching Arrow.
You used to hate her
because she was Grumpy Cat. She had a Grumpy Cat face on all the time. She was a terrible actress. I think at some point they said, we got to get this broad an acting coach. Where'd you find her? Yeah, with Katie Lotz. Isn't that who you... No, she was Craft Services, not... Oh, well, we're stuck with her now.
Well, we'll kill her off. What? If we're bringing her back?
Yeah, we killed her off in the script. Yeah, but she learned to act like this last episode. Oh.
Damn it.
Well, maybe we'll bring her back somehow. Because she was terrible. She was terrible for the first half of the season she started in. Like, awful. Like enough that when she came on screen, it was like, oh, I'm watching a television show and I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, you really hated her. I didn't hate her that much. I hated the other chick more, Laurel more.
It's different hating a character because she's written to be unlikable.
But I also find at the beginning she was like, I'm the token pretty girl, but now she's much different character.
But again, if she's written that way, this was the actress being incapable of doing her job properly.
I don't care about acting. Usually, it'd have to be pretty bad for me to care about acting.
I think it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I'd say I didn't care. So,
but I see her now, like Legends of Tomorrow. I think the acting is going to be up to snuff. She's going to be able to do a good job. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping it's a fun romp where they can swap in and out characters. There's going to be a.
We don't know how many episodes it is. Again, probably short, right? Since it's a mid-season kind of thing. I would assume like 12 or 13.
Yeah, like an Agent Carter thing where
Yeah.
they're just slipping in the... Yeah.
So we'll see. And
Yeah. Speaking of Agent Carter, Haley Atwell,
is super hot.
that, and she, I've seen some stuff, some promotional stuff that she's doing, so I'm guessing Agent Carter is going to be on soon.
It's on January. It's coming soon. 6th, 13th? One or two. 6th or the 13th. Can't remember which.
She's got a bit of an unorthodox face. Like a little bit. Like if you even just a headshot, you could go, oh, okay. Like she's got some features that, but still in a beautiful way.
She's a little, like harsher features, maybe. Like not harsh, but like manlier, I guess. Square jaw.
A little squarish, a little, but there's no, that's not a manly body.
No. She works.
But she's a beautiful girl.
And I hope they play up her and her sidekick, the other girl, more.
I bailed on Agent Carter. I will come back and give it a shot. Because there's going to be
You missed
nothing
like
else
the
on.
best episode of Agent Carter with the Howling Commandos. That was like the best one ever. And at the end of the season, it's her and this other girl living together in Tony Stark's, or in the other Stark's mansion. But I don't know how they end up on the West Coast this time. Like, I don't know. She gets transferred, and the other girl gets maybe a movie career. Would be kind of fun because she was an actress.
I'm hoping they go to San Francisco because that's where people with their certain bend go.
Oh, there were lots of them in L.A. at the time too.
Oh,
yeah. There's definitely a lesbian undertone to it, which is fun.
no. Well, I will probably come back and give it a shot.
I like that show a lot. I like it.
It got uber campy and really.
You just hated the heat up vest.
The heat up vest was ridiculous.
But it was. They said that was like a pre thing to Tony Stark's tech, kind of where it was like that was the beginning of it.
Yeah, but I don't know if Tony Stark would have, even though he was a bit of a mad scientist, would have invented a vest that.
Yeah, but the vest didn't work. That was the point.
Yeah, but then would lock onto someone, would continue.
The lock was a little weird.
And the only way, then it would heat up and heat up and heat up until it burned the person, then it would explode.
The lock part was weird. But
and then the guy had to leap out a window.
He saved everyone.
Yeah. There's if you don't want.
But that was like the one thing you were overly sensitive at the time.
No, that was, you know, when you put the straw on the camel's back, that was a cinder block on the camel's back. It was like, okay, like that had reached a fevered pitch.
That was only campy thing. The rest was really good. And it's a good show. Can't wait for that to be back. And that's about it. I don't think there's any other shows
that are.
When is Luke Cage coming? Is that this year or what?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I am still digesting Jessica Jones.
No, I'm not digesting Jessica Jones. I'm not. Yeah.
Look up a watch like a
what to watch. Yeah.
Watch order for that show,
or I'll just skip every other episode.
Because there's a block that it's actually good.
Yeah.
Literally, if you would have made that show 4 episodes long,
yeah,
get the it would have to be longer than that. But if there's a watch order for Jessica Jones, just to get it under your belt, because eventually Iron Fist got pushed back because they wanted to
they want to do
a
Punisher
solo Punisher, and he's going to come from Daredevil. Daredevil season 2 is going to be before anything else.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what is going on. Let's see if there's a watch order for Jessica Jones.
Watch order for Jessica Jones. Yeah, I do know that I'm overly sensitive. Certain things really, like everyone is, certain things push your button and then you just can't. You're out. There was not one thing in Jessica Jones that did that. It was just a constant wave of things. But I sat through it. To my credit, I sat through it.
You're much braver than I.
I almost wish that I hadn't watched the last episode. No, I wish the last few episodes were written well. That's what I wish.
See, I think you're in the minority. Most people love the series.
I would hazard a guess that I would say if there was a Rotten Tomatoes for television, that I would probably be in the majority.
No, I don't think so. Looking up the watch list, it's every single thing that came up was you must watch this show.
I think that's just that's the input that you gave. You're receiving the watch order. You're looking for Watch and Jessica Jones. So you're going to get those responses.
Jessica Jones is on Rotten Tomatoes. Do you want to know what the numbers are?
Yes.
93% positive. And 90% for audience and 93% for critics.
Oh.
So you're in the minority, man.
Oh, my God.
I'm in the minority, too. I can't watch it.
Oh, my God.
You didn't realize how many people liked it, right? It's crazy.
Anything I've seen online, people have all panned certain parts that come up. Like, I guess overall, would I give it a 90? No. But I guess I'm in the minority. I would have probably given it maybe a 50.
See, you're in the minority there, my friend.
I see potential.
See, I like I say, it's hard for me to... It's not that I don't like it. It's just hard for me to watch because it is so depressing and so, like, it makes me feel bad the whole time.
Oh, yeah, and that doesn't go away.
I know it doesn't go away.
Those are masochists. All the people who bothered to put...
Well, it's not bothered. It's
all the people who bothered to go on Rotten Tomatoes.
But critics is critically acclaimed, it seems.
Yeah. There's one character that I think... I don't mind the way they went with it, but it would have been so much more awesome if they went another way, and I wish you would have...
Yeah. I know I should just, like, watch one episode a week and just digest each one and recover each... It's almost like having PTSD watching the frickin' show.
You have to walk out into the sunshine and just look up and go, okay,
the world isn't this bad.
Because...
Yeah, it just beats you down. I know. I couldn't imagine binging it. You'd just commit suicide.
I think that's preferable. But at one point, you think she has the ability to redeem herself, and she doesn't. She goes even worse and darker, and the whole thing goes even darker. And it's like, okay, like that's not where I think I would go. But let's see where the writers are taking this. And it's just like, and I don't know for a fact. But to me, it seems like the writers were paralleling like an event, like a historical event or something. It seems like there was a flow that they wanted to create and a parody, like a parallel or something like that. But I didn't get it. It didn't work.
You've never been traumatized. You've lived too good of a life, I guess.
That must be it. That I've never then decided to just do one horrible thing after another when I'm the good guy. Maybe I would though. Maybe I would have to be Ramsay Bolton.
See, that's your issue. She's too good.
Oh yeah, she's too good.
And nobody's penises are getting cut off.
There's
nobody's flayed alive for your. There's a lot less flaying than you like in your television shows.
I demand that. That's why I watch. That's why I watch The Big Bang Theory every week. One of them gets
flays you.
Flayed alive.
It only flays my my tolerance to watch blackface.
Nerd blackface. Oh, I haven't watched that show. I've maybe seen 5 or 6 episodes tops.
I find that show offensive, and I don't understand why geeks like that show. I understand why norms like that show because it's making fun of geeks.
I like the term norms.
Normies. Yeah, for sure. But all these geeks who love Big Bang Theory, I don't get it. Hey, they mentioned The Flash. They mentioned this. Yeah, they mention it because they're making fun of you. Don't you get it?
Isn't that show on Tuesday nights? Big Bang Theory?
I don't know. It is, and I know they always have back and forth. Ramon and...
Because why couldn't... If you want to see a reference to Flash, why don't you just watch The Flash? It's on Tuesday night.
Well, a lot of people do. That's why The Flash is so popular. But it's for the normies. And it's in syndication.
It does nothing for me.
I am offended by it.
It's mildly entertaining, I suppose, in the background. When I have watched it, I can...
it's also sitcoms in general I don't like. Like, anything with a laugh track is, like, the worst thing to me. So, this is, like, doubly worse.
A sitcom's not my 100% either.
And this is just... I really find it offensive.
Well, there you have it. Another TV update with some movies thrown in for good measure. Come back next time, and we'll try not to offend you. We're sorry.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, Rob.
Funny meeting you here.
In the studio, in front of the mic. It's uncanny.
It's not a regular occurrence anymore. Ever since Studio H got shut down for, things.
Violations. Health code violations. You know how it is.
Ever since that happened, it's not been as regular.
Speaking of regular, you regularly update your Twitter account.
I call it our Twitter account because it's Vinland OTR.
And what does that stand for, Rob?
Vinland Old Time Radio. That's this little podcast we do. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Have not.
That's funny because you recorded. Oh, I didn't tell you were recording?
No, this is just me being me. Anyways, so if someone would want to follow your Twitter account...
Our Twitter account.
How would they do that?
At Vinland OTR.
Fantastic. And people who don't want to follow our Twitter account, who are on Twitter, you make baby Jesus cry. Live with that.
At Vinland OTR. 2 N's in Vinland. It's not Vineland, it's Vinland. If you can't spell, we don't want you.